I have no idea why I suddenly had this motivation to talk about Call of Duty all of a sudden. I haven't posted a video on this channel in like 2 weeks or something. Because honestly, I just have nothing to talk about on this channel. I'm not going to force myself to make videos if I don't really care much about what's going on with Call of Duty right now. Obviously, I'm focusing on my other channel and I'm doing very well there. I'm enjoying that. So I just didn't feel the need to post anything here, and I hope you guys understand the reasons for that. I do intend on making more videos here in the future. It's just right now there's not much to talk about. I think Vanguard, although it's not my least favorite Call of Duty, it is by far the least enjoyable during its own life cycle that I've ever felt playing a Call of Duty game. It's the least I've ever played a Call of Duty game. Like, in 2022 itself, not even just talking about Vanguard, but Call of Duty as a whole, this has by far been the least I've played Call of Duty during a COD's life cycle. I have touched maybe like, I'm thinking 5 hours of Vanguard, maybe a couple more than that. No, like maybe like 7 hours, 9 hours, something like that. Somewhere below 10 hours is what I'm trying to say. Nothing crazy, right? Whereas usually I'm already at like the 24-hour mark at this point, sometimes even like 48 hours into the game. I've only played like less than 10 hours. And obviously, I'm self-aware enough to know that this is not just because of the game's quality and my enjoyment of the game. I am self-aware enough to realize that there is a multitude of factors that go into why that's the case. I think a lot of people kind of lose out on what other factors might exist in their life. They think because they're not playing this recent Call of Duty as much as other ones, it's because they don't like the game. But in reality, there could be a million reasons. And for me, there are a million other reasons. I've been very busy this year. This has by far been the busiest year of my life when it comes to other things. I'm, older now, so I got college work. I got a lot of college work. I got my YouTube channel, the other one that I've been focusing on, which is essentially my job at this point. Got a lot of other social responsibilities in life. A lot more going on to the point where I can't just sit around and play Call of Duty all day, which I could have like a year ago or 2 years ago. So that's a big factor that goes into it. I'm sure even if it was a game that I hated even more than Vanguard that came out this year, but I wasn't in school and I wasn't, in the need of making money through other means, I would probably be playing like a lot more of that game than I am for Vanguard. So, again, I'm self-aware enough to realize that. But even when I do have the time to sit down and play Vanguard, even when I do, I don't get much enjoyment out of it. I really don't. I have found very little fun in it. And I honestly have trouble pinpointing exact issues with the game because as a whole, it's not like it's terrible. Like, a lot of the design choices are okay. Like, they're fine. Like, I don't think the gun balance is god-awful. I don't think it's the best either, but I don't think it's god-awful. I think the maps, like I said in previous videos, I think they're pretty good. Like, when the game first came out, I was actually saying a lot of good things about this game. I thought there was a lot of good stuff there, and I gave it a decent rating. I was like, yeah, this is probably like a B tier Call of Duty, something like that. It's pretty solid. But the more I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, I think it's like a D tier now. Like, I just don't have fun in this game. But again, I can't really pinpoint specific issues, and I think it just comes down to the fact that Call of Duty, even just as a whole, just isn't as enjoyable in this current day. For me, doesn't mean it's for everyone, for me. But I wanted to test this out. See if it's just Vanguard's fault, right? So what I did was I went back and I played Black Ops Cold War for the first time in months, right? And I did because they added new guns, so there was like new challenges and stuff. So I had a reason to go back. They were gonna add WMD, but they actually delayed that for some reason. So regardless, I still played some Black Ops Cold War, and I kind of proved that theory wrong that I am not enjoying Call of Duty as a whole anymore, because when I played Black Ops Cold War, I actually had a lot of fun. Now, I'm not going to act like I had the best time of my life. I'm still definitely in that, feeling of, okay, there's probably other games that are more fun than this right now. There's probably other things I could do in general that are more fun than this right now. But I had a lot more fun than I ever had in Vanguard. And I think it all comes down to literally just one thing. It's just design choices, right? I prefer how Treyarch designs their games, and I think that's just how it is. Before, I used to be able to, accept any studio, and I would have fun in most studios' Call of Duty games. I have had fun in Modern Warfare games in the past. I have had fun in COD Ghosts even. I played the shit out of COD Ghosts during its life cycle. Every time a new Call of Duty came out, I played it a bunch during its life cycle. But this year was different. Even Modern Warfare was different, but we're also in the middle of pandemic there, so I had a lot more time on my hands. Therefore, I just played the game more in general, but you guys know I didn't really have that much fun in that game, so I went back and I played Black Ops 4 a lot more. But with this year, because I don't have as much time, I just haven't been playing at all either. I haven't had any motivation to play at all, regardless. So even when I do have free time, I'm sitting there like, do I really want to play this? So like I said, hopped on Black Ops Cold War, and like I said, a lot more fun. And it's just the difference in design choices. It's the difference from Treyarch to Infinity Ward to Sledgehammer. They design their games very differently. And of course, there was recent news, I guess not really recent anymore, this probably came out like 3 weeks ago, and I just haven't talked about it on the channel. They have announced that Treyarch's next Call of Duty, the one that was going to come out in 2023, has been delayed to 2024. And I talked about this on Twitter a little bit. I kind of said this is good and bad. There's good things about it, and there's bad things. And I think people need to understand that there's nuance to more things. And I don't know why everyone in the world acts like it has to be one or the other. It has to be the greatest thing ever or the worst thing ever. No, it can be in the middle. And I kind of felt that way about this. I don't think this is the best thing that could possibly have happened. I don't think this is the worst thing that could possibly have happened. I just think it's okay. Like, there's going to be good things about it. The good's going to be that Treyarch is going to have more time to make their next game. That's awesome. We're going to get probably a way more polished Treyarch experience. That excites me, right? We're going to have a game that's just overall going to be more enjoyable because it's going to have probably more content, less bugs, and it's a Treyarch game, so it's going to be designed hopefully the way I like. It could definitely be different. They could just decide to change their design philosophy, which would suck, but let's hope they don't. And it's going to be actually well polished because Treyarch games usually get kind of rushed. I still tend to like their games a lot more, but they do tend to get rushed a little bit. So that's just, the fact of the matter of Activision forcing them to make their games so early. But then what are the bad things about this, right? To me, the bad things are, well, for starters, 2024. Let's assume that's fall 2024. That's 2.5 years from now. That's 2.5 years from now, right? Who's to say I'm going to even give a shit about Call of Duty in 2.5 years? Like, maybe I will, but we're all going to be at very different points in our life at that time. And I think getting excited for something that's coming out in that long is just silly. I used to be like that. I used to always get excited for things that are going to come out in years. I remember being really excited for like the next Treyarch game every time a new COD came out. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for, when Black Ops 3 came out and I was, enjoying it and all. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for, 2018 for the next game. Or even when you hear like a new movie's coming out in like 5 years and you're like, oh my God, they announced this for 2023 and I'm talking about this in like 2018. Like, why are you excited for that already? Hold off your excitement. What I've come to realize, you got to be excited for things that are just closer. To me, that makes everything more exciting when you're excited for something that's very, very soon, that's coming out in like, a few weeks or something, because then you don't start skipping things. You don't start skipping excitement for things. You instead start living in the moment more often, and you enjoy the things that are coming to you sooner, instead of looking forward to something that's coming out in such a long time to the point where I'll be a completely different human being at that time, probably. I mean, think about it. I'm going to be out of college. I could have a full-on job at that point. I could be working out in the field, like in a career like state at that point. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I could be at graduate school. I could be in a million different places at that point because it's so long from now that I don't really have my life planned out in a way where I know exactly what I'm doing in 2.5 years from now. Some people do, and that's fine, but a lot of people don't. I don't know if I'm going to care about Call of Duty in 2.5 years. So no matter how great this next Treyarch game could definitely be with having such a long development time, it doesn't matter to me because right now it doesn't matter to me because I don't know if I'm going to even be excited for that when the time comes. So right now I'm just enjoying this content that we do have. And I know Modern Warfare is coming out this year, the new Modern Warfare 2, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to play it for sure, but I almost know for a fact if it's designed anything like Modern Warfare 2019, there is no way in hell I'm going to enjoy it. And that's just the fact of the matter. I'm not going to fool myself to get excited for something if I know I'm probably not going to give a shit for it. Again, going to try it, give it a chance. I'm not going to shit talk it before it comes out, but if, like I said, if it's anything like Modern Warfare 2019, the chances of me liking it are very, very slim. And looking past my general enjoyment of Call of Duty and my feelings on it, and just thinking of the whole, thinking of the community, thinking of everyone, what could this do negatively to Call of Duty? Let's say this next game, Modern Warfare 2, whatever, it isn't something that a lot of people like, right? I'm sure it's something that is going to be, popular in terms of revenue. It's going to make a lot of money. It's Modern Warfare. It's going to make a lot of money. But let's say people don't really love it for whatever reason. I don't know what reason there could be, but let's say people don't love it. You're going to have to stick with that Call of Duty for 2 years. They're going to be updating that COD for 2 full years until we get another one, right? We already are in a situation now where I feel like after 3 months of the game being out, and this goes for like every year, after 3 months of the game being out, people are already demanding the next one. They're already saying, this is shit, I'm just gonna get excited for the next one because this current one's shit. We're already seeing it with Vanguard right now. People love Vanguard at launch. They did. But a couple months later, nope. Everyone shat on that and said, no, I can't wait for Infinity Ward's next game or Treyarch's next game. That's what everyone does every single damn year. So imagine that, but times 2. Imagine that times 2. Even if this game is really well polished and has a lot of content, people are going to get bored of it after a few months anyways. It's just how it is. People aren't really fit to find much enjoyment for these games long term. And I think that's the issue with Call of Duty, is that they have trouble doing that. They have trouble keeping people long term. So regardless of them selling a crazy amount every year, they always are like #1 selling game of the year. It's never the highest like played per year. You know, it's always losing player counts. I mean, we don't really see the player counts on console, but we can see them, you know, on like different PC websites and such. We can see just general popularity on YouTube and stuff, and Twitch, which I always say does not determine how popular the game actually is. But it's the only information we have. So let's just mention it right now. It definitely isn't as popular on these things as a lot of other games throughout the year. The only times where it really has that big popularity is when there's new content dropping, when there's a new update, new DLC. And why is that? I think it's because Call of Duty, at least as of lately, I don't really feel the same way before. I think this is just more of a recent thing. It doesn't really have much replay value because it's all about the shop now. That's all it really is. I mean, we always talk about supply drops and how, you know, garbage they were, but there was something about supply drops that made these games more replayable. And I especially would point to the games where they had, you know, better supply drop systems like maybe Infinite Warfare or World War II. They had much more replay value to them. And even the ones that had bad systems, yes, Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare had bad systems, but they gave the game so much more replay value. How many people would get so damn excited for the new stuff to come out so they can watch Noah J opening like 1,000 supply drops or something? I mean, his videos got like disgusting amounts of views on those supply drop openings. And even for myself, I would love when the new triple play contracts came out and you had to get 100 wins to get a free DLC gun. Me and my friends grinded that shit out. Like, that was fun. But in the current climate of Call of Duty, it's all about the shop stuff, the shop cosmetics. So that's all it's about. It's, let me go grind real life so I can get $20 so I can buy this 2,400 COD point skin in the shop. That's not as fun. It's just not. And yes, you have the Battle Pass, which again also costs money. But the problem with the Battle Pass is that it's just boring. There's no excitement there. It's, you know, supply drops, again, I know there's unfair things about them, but at least that was exciting to open them, you know? It's something different. Everyone gets something different. You can get like a rare skin that no one else has, and you're like, wow, this is really cool. My friends don't have this, and only I have it. Like, it's kind of special. But in the Battle Pass, everyone gets the same thing at the same point, and you have to earn it the same way as everyone else. You just play the game. There's no special challenges. There's nothing fun to do. It's just play the game. That's why Call of Duty feels so mindless to me. When I hop on, it's literally just mindless running around, shooting people, and dying over and over again, and that's it. That's it. I don't really feel that way in Black Ops Cold War as much because I feel like Black Ops Cold War has a more competitive feel to it. So when I'm playing, I feel like my skill matters, so I'm more invested in the gameplay. But for Vanguard and Modern Warfare, and if you go back to really any older Call of Duty, at least how I feel about it today, I didn't feel about these games back then, but I do now, it feels mindless. It feels like a repetitive feeling of, let me just go try to kill a couple people and maybe shoot them in the back, and then I'll get shot in the back or something, and it just doesn't play well. So I know for a fact I'm only really going to give a shit about Treyarch's games because I think they're the ones that tend to be designed in a way that feels like it actually matters if you're good or not at the game. Does it mean their game's perfect? No, there's tons of problems with Cold War, but I'm just saying for the most part, that's just what I gravitate towards. But that still doesn't fix the rest of the issues with the Battle Pass system and the COD point stuff and how it just feels like you're just playing to just play. You know, I think there needs to be a better system in play. And I can talk the same thing I'm saying now about Zombies too. Zombies doesn't feel like it has a reward system to it. It doesn't feel like it has anything where I have a reason to play again and again and again. I mean, I play the maps once and I get my full enjoyment out of them. I don't feel like there's anything else to do. I'm just bored of it. You know, I feel like I'm wasting my time when I play Call of Duty half the time these days, and it just gets repetitive and nonsensical. And there's so many other games that don't feel that way for me, so I play the other games now when I have the free time. I don't really have much of the free time anymore. Okay, this turned into the most random Call of Duty rant ever. When I turned on the mic to start recording for this video, I think I was going to talk about just specifically the whole like situation with me not really enjoying Call of Duty anymore, and the whole, I just went into some rants. I don't know. I'm gonna call this probably the most random Call of Duty rant ever. I don't really care. I think sometimes you guys like hearing me rant, and that's what this turned into. There's zero structure to it, zero topic that kind of stayed on tracks, but whatever. Some people like that stuff, so I'm just gonna let you guys hear my thoughts. I like to word vomit sometimes. I think, you know, this channel's good for that, especially when you're talking about Call of Duty and there's just so many topics to talk about. And I don't know, I hope they do something that gets me more interested in the Call of Duty franchise, because this past year I have had zero interest. The most interested I've been is when there's any news about Treyarch's next game. That's the only time I'm interested. Or the Cold War stuff when they announced WMD was coming out. I got a little excited for that, but that's about it. When it comes to Vanguard, I really don't care what they add anymore. I'll probably play it still, but I'm just not going to care that much, to be completely honest. And for Warzone, yeah, I haven't really kept track with Warzone. I don't know. It's not really doesn't really interest me anymore. I don't know. There's a lot of buggy issues with Warzone as of recently, so I think that's my biggest issue with that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.